Hey Miner Nation, welcome back to another season of Inside the Mind. Today we're here with Troy Johnson, our Assistant Athletic Director for Facilities and Game Operations. Troy, how you doing today?
Good, not too bad, Ryan. It's middle of summer here. It's getting hot. Had a little bit of weather recently, but can't complain.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Troy has been here since August or July last year?
August, yeah.
August of last year. Has finished his first full season with us. Did some great work helping both with the game ops and facilities, and then was also a big part of fan engagement push as Pickaxe Platoon, and that entire rewards program has really blown up and exploded in the last year or so. Troy, just tell me, how did that first year go? What did your job look like in the first year so far?
Yeah, I think a lot of the first year was just kind of learning the culture. S&T is a very unique place. Yeah. So learning kind of the student body and what they need from games, and then learning our coaches, what do they need from their facilities and their game operations on game days, what do they need, what do they not need, what works well, what doesn't work well. So a lot of that, being able to now say I've gone through an entire academic year, the fall, winter, and spring, schedules and seasons, and being able to work with all of our coaches and understanding them on a better level, even some of the newer coaches, understanding them on a better level and their expectations was a lot of it.
Kind of walk us through, what does a game ops is a big part of your job? What does a game day look like? Let's go with the big beast of football. A lot of moving parts there. What does a football game day look like for you?
Yeah, so game day for me starts on Monday. So it's a lot of planning, a lot of meetings that week, whether it's with university police or parking or band or, any of the special groups that we're going to bring in. I'm managing tailgate reservations, managing the ticket operations. And then going into Tuesday, we're starting to talk about, our actual meeting with kind of the stakeholders of game day with Melissa and our other administrators and you and band and cheer and dance and, all these different aspects. And then Wednesday, we really start kind of gearing up and getting ready for the weekend with facility prep. Our porta potties dropped off in the right spot. So we're starting to think about where we need to cone things off. Is the field prepared? Talking with Coach Ball about setup and tear down, and then working with my crew with DeVoyas, Travis, and Perkins on student scheduling and where we may need students for that week. And, from Thursday, it's kind of all hands on deck with facility prep and getting benches set up. And, Saturday eventually rolls around and I'm out there at 4 a.m. before anybody gets here and before most people have even woken up that day, right? So first one in, last one out, just about every single football day. But I wouldn't trade it for the world. It's a very rewarding thing to be able to watch something kind of grow up from the ground as the season goes on and as the week goes on, because when everyone comes back on Monday, it's like nothing ever happened. So it's a very rewarding part of the process to work with those people and work with those coaches and see the enjoyment from the community and the student body and most importantly, our student athletes.
Yeah, and along those lines, what is it? I mean, you just touched on a little bit there, but what is it about game ops and facilities that really drew you to this career field, and how did you get started in this?
Yeah, I think the thing that drew me to it the most is just the enjoyment, right? Growing up an avid sports fan, playing a lot of different sports growing up, you always remember, the walk-off home runs and the monster dunks and, the half-court shots or the last-second field goals or the pick sixes, right? Those are the things you always remember. But as I got older and really kind of went off to undergrad at Murray State, I got involved in athletics there, and it was a good time because that was when John Morant was there too. So, athletics there were booming, and I got involved and really kind of learned that there's a back end of this. It's not just you show up and everything's set up. Contrary to, what some people believe, there's a lot of work that goes in and being a part of that rewarding process, like I talked about, where you see the enjoyment and you see the result, it's really rewarding. But yeah, I really got involved with it kind of right when I went to college, my sophomore year of college, got involved at Murray State, and just kind of sky's been the limit from there. It's moved very, very quickly. Been a few different places in a few different states, but it's been really cool to see.
Yeah. Along that line, what brought you here specifically to Rolla, Missouri, from where you were before in Georgia?
Yeah. So I was at University of West Georgia for the better part of 3 years. And I grew up in St. Louis, right? I grew up in Fenton. My mom is still in St. Genevieve. My younger brother's in Fenton. My older sister's in St. Charles. My younger sister's in Poplar Bluff, right? And, still being 2 hours away from home, it's hard at times, but it's a lot better than being 12 hours away from home, right? So you can be at a little more, this was the first year in 3 years I've gotten to be home on Christmas Day. So there's rewarding things of that. And, just being around family is important to me. We don't get a ton of time in athletics, so the little time we do have, when we're not at work or, need to be working, it's nice to be able to sit down and spend time with the people that have helped me get to the point where I'm at, right? Whereas before I couldn't necessarily do that. So
Yeah. No, family, big thing, big reason for making the move. Nice hour and a half for those of you that may be tuning in for the first time and aren't quite aware of where Missouri S&T is on the map. We're in Rolla, Missouri. We're an hour and a half, hour and 45 west of St. Louis, Missouri, along I-44. But along those lines, let's keep talking about what your job looks like. We talked about in season, talked about game days. What about the flip side of that? We're in the summer now, your first full summer here.
Sure.
What does your job look like in the summer without teams here?
Yeah, right now it's a lot of planning for next year, right? There's never really an off season when it comes to facilities, right? The lights still have to turn on, doors still have to be unlocked and locked, and fields still have to get painted and mowed and everything else, right? But a lot of what I'm working on right now is a couple different projects on a couple different facilities at baseball, at softball, at soccer, and sitting down with you and trying to map out fan engagement. Some moving offices. It's a lot of different things. It's like Pawn Stars. You never know what's going to walk in the door on any given day. People always are like, oh, the game day's got to be the favorite part about your job. And it's like, yeah, they're cool because I know what's going to happen, but there's also something of not know the unknown, if you know what I mean, like where you look at your calendar and there's no meetings, there's no projects that you have to be doing that exact day, and you're just kind of like, well, wherever the wind takes me today. So there's a few days like that in the summer, helping out with summer camps, but a lot of it's just gearing up towards next year.
Yep, and being free to hop in on our first episode of season 4 of Inside the Mine.
Yeah.
One more piece with your job, want to talk about Pickaxe Platoon Rewards,
Yeah.
a program that we started this year. Our former recreation director and fan engagement director, Ethan Stencil, who has since gone on to join Boise State, but him, along with myself, Troy Johnson, Maddie Steven, a few others, were a big part of starting a new program we have this year. So why don't you just share a little bit more about that for those who aren't familiar with our Pickaxe Platoon Rewards?
So we actually have the hard hats down here. I'm going to grab it real quick. So really excited, just kind of the momentum that these got within the past year. Like you said, it was a new program. I started on August 4th last year, and I think we met about this on like August 7th.
It was early, yeah.
It was really, really early. I think it was the first thing that I brought to the table as an idea, and it really just kind of gained some fire under it, which I'm really excited for. So sat down and outlined some dates. We're excited to release those. We got some really cool ideas for you guys coming out this year. Same hard hats. We're going to try to lock up another hard hat giveaway date, which we're really excited for. But yeah, I'm really excited. I thought it got some really good traction and a pretty rushed process, I think it's fair to say, last year. But this year, having the full summer to really plan it out and map it out and get it to where we need it to be. Pickaxe Platoon, we're the best student section in the GLBC, and I don't think it's close. The energy that they bring, game in and game out is second to none in the conference, let alone Division II. So shout out to you guys. None of this happens without our students and our student athletes. And I'm just the I joke with you and Maddie all the time that I'm just the ideas guy. But with this, I was just the ideas guy. So yeah, it was really cool to see it. It really get some legs and take off. I'm excited to see where it goes next year.
Yep. Well, like you said, we were working on outlining dates for those. We'll be releasing those sometime later this summer, but a lot more cool pieces. We did 10 stickers last summer, plan to do 10 stickers again this year, and the way it worked was at the end of the year, if you attended all those games or if you made it to a redemption day to get a sticker that maybe you missed and added those to your hard hat, then you got an exclusive crew neck sweatshirt that said Pickaxe Platoon on the back, Miners logo on the front, really to show that Pickaxe Platoon culture pride. Let's move on to the next segment, which is just a few favorites.
Sure.
Just getting to Troy's favorites. So starting with lunch spot in Rolla. Just need to go out to grab a quick lunch, nothing too fancy. What's your go-to spot? What's your go-to order?
Oh man, I don't know.
Top three if you need to.
I'm not a big lunch guy. I don't know. Where we went today, Tokyo is always good. The food truck, it never misses. That's up there for sure. I don't know. When we went to conference tournament for baseball, I was very hard against Freddy's. I don't like Freddy's. And then we had Freddy's, and I think I've had it like 4 times in the past 2 weeks.
He's
So
been
Freddy's-
converted, people.
Yeah, I've been converted to a Freddy's fan.
Not a sponsor.
Yeah, not a sponsor. Freddy's is up there. You know, Jersey Mike's, the convenience of it, it never misses either. My mom always asks me, where do you go for lunch on like those busy days? And I'm like, well, you know, on busy days, it's probably concession stand hot dog. But, you know, Jersey Mike's is great having it across the street. We do really good business with them too. And Mr. Kent, we're really appreciative of everything they do, and they run a good operation over there. So I'm trying to get on a first name basis, but not quite there yet.
Derek's great. A little shout out there, Derek Kent, the owner of Jersey Mike's and the Smoothie King in Rolla. Yeah. He actually used to play football for Truman State, so pretty cool connection there that now he's got some businesses in Rolla and partners with us on a few different things.
Yeah.
Another favorite. What is your favorite way to wind down? You mentioned you'll have football days where you're here at 6 a.m. to like 10 p.m., maybe later. Yeah. What's your wind down, whether it's that night or the next day, to just decompress?
The day after football, it's the best when you hit those NFL Sundays. And, you know, I'm set up in my room. I think there was a day, it might have been after the homecoming game this past year, or maybe it was the Indy game. That was the weird 4 p.m. game.
Yes, yeah.
It was the Indy game. And I think that's Sunday. Your phone tracks your steps, right? And I think I took 37 steps that Sunday. It was great. So it was a lot of sitting around and doing nothing. I'm a big NFL guy.
What's the team?
Falcons, the Falcons. You know, spending all that time in Georgia, you kind of convert to that town, in that state. And then just growing up, the Rams were just never good. So it's hard to be 8 years old and be excited about Mark
the 2-14 Rams.
The 1-15. Yeah. So, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, go Falcons. Rise up. A big NFL guy. I'm a gamer. I'm gonna shout out Andrew Hedgecorth. All this smack about video games, and I'm still waiting on the gamer tag. So I'm looking at the camera. I'm looking at you, Hedgie. Come find me whenever you're ready. Let it be known. Big gamer. I don't do a ton. I'm a bit of a homebody, as big as an extrovert as I am, or as I come off to be. I enjoy my alone time. I enjoy kind of like those private moments with yourself, and just kind of relaxing. Yeah, and the cat. I'm a proud cat dad. He's orange as they get, so he's around. But yeah, just after a marathon day, like a track meet or a football day, it's really easy to just kind of not get out of bed the next day. So that's the easiest way I wind down, is just kind of alone time by myself, whether it's watching a movie, playing video games, going and finding something new to eat. And like I said earlier, I'm really, really close with my family, so I try to spend all the time with them that I can.
Some solitude to recharge. Yep. Another one. What is your favorite memory from the 2025-2026 season?
Or are we talking like one athletic, one non-athletic?
We can do that, yeah.
Okay. Athletic, I'm going to say it was Cam Stovall's, what was it, 42?
42-point night.
42-point game. That was just a crazy
UIS
game.
Here in Gibson Arena.
Yeah, that was just a crazy game. Just that game in and of itself, having to get rescheduled originally. We're playing 3 games in 5 days, and then, you know, Cam just goes nuclear. And we had some programming that night too. We had a really good turnout by the Pickaxe Platoon. The crowd was electric, and it's always a good thing to win, right? So yeah, that athletic, I would say, was Cam Stovall's game. It was a really, really cool night. And then non-athletic, I don't know. It was an interesting year, right? Interesting, new place, new town, new opportunity, new people. Not athletic. I really admire the staff we have here, and just getting to know them outside of work. You know, me and you spent a lot of time together traveling with baseball, and a lot of time at baseball, not traveling, and just getting to know Maddie and Coach Carter and Coach Walker and all these personalities that you see them on the court, and they're just completely different people off the court, right? You know, and Coach Thompson and Coach Murphy, Coach Segrist. You know, we have a really good group of people here, and I think that's not something you see all the time in athletic departments, right? Because we're all naturally competitive people, and a lot of times that can lead to a lot of butting of heads, and we do have our share of butting of heads here, right? But the people here are second to none. I think all of us do a really good job of being there for each other and listening for each other. And it's a real case of, it's kind of ironic, because we're the minors, and it really is true that iron sharpens iron. So,
Well, before we go on to the last segment, one of the things that has to be talked about is the SAC staff basketball game. Here's a printout of the stats.
oh boy.
Troy and I were on Team Burgess. We lost 46-44 in overtime. It was heartbreaking. Just want to look at a couple stats. From the coaches, they voted Jonathan Piggott as the MVP of the game from Team Finley. So his stat line real quick, 38 and a half minutes, 6 of 18 field goals, 0 for 5 from the 3. Sorry, Piggy. 2 for 6 from the free throw line, and then 13 rebounds. So he brought in a double-double with 14 points and 13 rebounds. And Troy, you brought in 19 points and 11 rebounds, double-double on your own, and you went 8 of 23.
Yeah.
Which is the most shots, not by much. Dylan Philwalk also had 22 shots.
Yeah.
But how was that game for you? How did you feel about that performance?
I felt really good. I left it all out there on the court. That is that's the retirement. There's no more athletic activity for Troy. So, going out, I would like to say on top, but unfortunately it was not. Started really hot, and I think I just kind of got, flew too close to the sun too quick. My defense fell apart at the end of the game. Left Jordan wide open. I can see it in my head now. Left her wide open in the corner for the game-winning 3. It happens, but it's I would say I'm definitely not getting a 10-day anytime soon with those numbers. But yeah, left it out there, hit my goal. Didn't win, should have won, but it's I don't know. It's always a tough pill to swallow.
It's a fun one, though. I will give us a shout out. We were both on the intramural staff team. HR Violations was our team name. We did win intramurals.
Champions.
So, champions. Yes. Well, we're going to end today's podcast with just a little fun segment. It's a one-word cue, so it's all about quick reaction and just the first thing that comes to Troy's head when he hears a word or a phrase.
Oh, boy.
So, just going to start here. At the top, Pickaxe Platoon.
Electric.
19 points.
Goat.
From the Moon.
Troy Johnson.
Bus Ride.
Bad.
St. Pat's.
Quick baseball.
Fridge.
Baseball.
Joe Minor.
The guy.
Owen Fraser.
The guy.
Rolla.
We got.
Crocs.
Gross.
Hot Dog.
Buy 'em.
Flamingo.
Zoo.
And White Monster.
White Monster.
Yeah.
Oh, easy. The best.
Just for frame of reference, Bus Ride, what we were getting at there was Troy and I both traveled with baseball to regionals in Grand Rapids on a bus that did not have AC. So I don't know what word you even use to describe that. Sauna is another one that came to mind.
Sauna.
But it was fun, bonding experience with the entire team.
Built character.
For sure.
It built character.
Yeah.
We got through it.
It made me happier when we had to stop 45 to 50 minutes just to fill up gas, because at least we were getting fresh air.
Right.
But that's all for us today. Troy, why don't you any final thoughts for the people?
Yeah, we're excited to have you guys back on campus. We miss you guys. Rolla's not the same without you. Excited for another year of minor athletics. Excited for Pickaxe Platoon and Pickaxe Platoon rewards. So keep your eyes out, keep your eyes peeled, because we're going to do some really cool things this year.
Thanks for joining us, Troy. Thank you for being with us.